YouTube.
Got the back channel YouTube.
We're live? Okay, we're live.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to CNA Weekend Recap. And as you can tell, we are not in the Geek Cave today. We are at Alabama Comic-Con in Birmingham, Alabama at the BJCC. It's been going on this weekend, and as you can tell, CNA has a major presence at this con. We've been doing panels, getting to know everyone as they come by and see us here at the table, seen some great costumes, and we'll talk to you more about that con in a little bit. But what we're really here to talk to you about today, guys, is the latest episode of Ahsoka on Disney+. Now, you know, last week's episode was a hard one to top, and I don't think any of us went in expecting that, and it didn't.
No.
But it was a great episode to continue the momentum that one created.
Yeah, totally. And just to see Thrawn walk across the screen, I mean, come on.
Yeah, so spoilers, obviously. We're going to go into this episode, but Ken just kicked it off. I mean, the wait is over. We've been waiting since Ahsoka's episode in Mandalorian for this. And the wait is over. Grand Admiral Thrawn has returned, and he is as vicious and as calculating and evil as he ever was in Rebels. And how great was it to hear that voice?
Right. I mean, best case scenario, the voice actor who brought the character to life actually performing him live action.
Yeah.
And those Mickelson guys can act their asses off too. Brothers.
Yeah,
they're,
right.
They're just badasses as it is. Both of them got these intense voices and presence on screen.
Yeah, but there's no one else that could have done that voice for Thrawn, so they did a good job. You know, the first time you saw his face, I don't know about you, but I was like, yeah, that doesn't look like Admiral Thrawn. But then he spoke, and then I considered it's been like 20 years, and then it started to make a little more sense. He's aged, he had a little bit of a belly, and so the voice was so important it didn't matter. He's a blue guy, but that voice is what matters.
Yeah.
And
I'd like to know if those eyes are digitally red because they are intense and they practically glow. So I'm starting to think that they're digitally red.
We rewatched that episode last night, and I was thinking, can I get context that red to play this character?
You're gonna do Thrawn
I'm
cosplay?
thinking Thrawn cosplay.
Thrawn cosplay coming soon.
I'm thinking maybe Dragon Con.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Oh, yeah, man.
We already have an Ahsoka in our group. If you are into cosplay and you're interested in what we're talking about, check us out on Instagram at Cosplay Katet. That's cosplay spelled how you think, and then Katet, Katet. Check us out. We post all of our cosplays that we're working on, and when we go to the cons that too. So we had a big con a few weeks ago at Dragon Con. Lots of pictures on there, and then more coming as we start going to other cons. So definitely check us out there. But kind of deviated there. Ahsoka. The two things we've been waiting for with Ahsoka have been seeing Thrawn and finding out what happened. We got them both in this episode.
No kidding. And I mean, I expected Ezra's reemergence to be a little more spectacular. He was just kind of, hey, I'm over here. Long time no see. Give you a hug. But I mean, there were some things to point out about Ezra. I mean, the consistency is there. He's got the scars on his cheeks. Did you notice his chainmail?
Yes. I was about to mention that myself.
Okay, well, carry on from there.
Ezra went full like Apache, it would have seemed. In this planet, stuck on this planet with thousands of stormtroopers and Thrawn. He's clearly gone full native, and he has a chainmail under his shirt, and when you zoom in and look at it, it is made of the dog tags of stormtroopers he has defeated. And that is, like I said, he went full Apache.
That's kind of dark for Ezra. Like, he's been through some shit.
Let's go down a rabbit hole for a second on that, because before we even see Ezra, Thrawn gets real close to Sabine and says, "You risked the entire galaxy on the assumption that Ezra is still good, that he's still the person you think he is." And then
I didn't really pick up on that.
And then not only is he wearing chainmail, he's wearing red, which is kind of like Star Wars' universal warning sign. You know, you got a dark side wielder on your hand. He's wearing red.
This did not occur to me that Ezra would not be still true of heart, still wholehearted, just the good person that he was.
I think there's some darkness in the boy now.
Oh, wow. That makes, that is super interesting. I can't wait for Tuesday now.
Right?
Mhm.
It's subtle, and I don't know if it's real, but it's certainly something we're paying attention to. Star Wars never does anything for no good reason. They put the red on it for a reason. They put the chainmail. They gave us some hints that he's not the guy that flew off with the purple several years ago.
I wonder if he's been doing like trying to keep the reason Thrawn hasn't returned. Maybe it's Ezra. Keeps throwing wrenches in his plans. Maybe like these guerrilla type tactics where he's like almost like a terrorist. And he's clearly killed a lot of people.
Yeah. Well, when we
Tracks.
first see Thrawn, he's being chanted by his remaining stormtroopers, and they are in beat up, destroyed stormtrooper outfits. Some of them have clear impact wounds, busted helmets, and they've been pieced together and patched together with Night Sister fabric, which would lead me to believe that they've been imbued with magic, which leads me to wonder, is Thrawn's remaining forces, which he says to Morgan Elsbeth, we don't have enough to dedicate to going and finding him. Are they also revived Night Sister magic? Did the Night Sisters or the Night Mothers, did they go and help him revive everyone that Ezra has slaughtered?
Yeah. We're talking
looking
about
at a ghost army, basically. A
zombie undead stormtroopers.
Yeah. So a zombie army, and it feels very likely. Again, nothing is put in there for no reason. These stormtroopers were heavily wrapped in red fabrics. And let's talk about that for a minute, because that's the Night Sisters. We've never seen that in live action. We got to see 3 Night Mothers in their ceremonial garb.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're going deep into the animated lore of Star Wars.
Yeah.
And it is a beautiful thing.
And they're so powerful, they clearly have Thrawn's respect.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he was.
They orchestrated this whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
And they can. Okay. There's a moment when we first meet them where they say, it reeks of Jedi. And everyone turns and looks at Sabine. I fail to believe that those 3 Night Sisters could sense her if she is not somewhat sensitive in the Force. I believe that is another hint that Sabine will develop her ability.
She keeps trying. She keeps trying to use it. And what was it? A couple episodes back, they talked about the stubbornness of a Mandalorian. Like they have a hard time attuning to the Force.
Yeah.
So I think there's something. I think we're going to. This is an assumption. They're going to have a breakthrough where she's going to figure out how to break into that.
Yeah. And
then we're going to suddenly see a force wielding Sabine.
There's a moment in one of the previous episodes where she talks about how the Force is, difficult, and Sabine is like, well, I just figured it would fast track itself when I needed it. I'm thinking she said that's not how the Force works. I think that's exactly how the Force will work here. Yeah. When the moment comes and it's life or death, and she has to either save herself or more likely save the people she cares for,
right?
It will happen. And I think that's what they're setting up here.
Man, you got my mind spinning and wild. Like, what if Ahsoka and Ezra end up on opposite sides of the spectrum and they end up fighting in the duel? And
I'll give you one better. What if Ahsoka has to team up with Balin and his Padawan to take down Ezra Bridger?
Oh my gosh, that's some good stuff, man. Star Wars has never been this good. I don't care what you have. Oh gosh, I think I want to address some haters. Do you mind if I do that?
Go
if I
for
address
it.
the haters, because every time somebody's hating on the Ahsoka show, you listen to them and you pay attention, and ultimately they didn't do the homework. They didn't spend time in Rebels. They didn't watch Rebels. They didn't watch Clone Wars. They're not familiar with the characters. They didn't spend time with the characters. They don't understand how this is basically the heir apparent to those stories. And so if you want to enjoy this more, take the time to watch Clone Wars and Rebels. They are worth your time.
They're not just worth your time. They provide some of the greatest moments in Star Wars mythology. And that's not hyperbole. That's legit.
Let's name
Clone
some things.
Wars.
Name a couple things.
Yeah, full spoilers if you haven't
Yeah.
seen them. But the Siege of Mandalore in season 7 of Clone Wars.
Yes.
Ahsoka taking on a fully empowered Darth Maul. Epic. Kanan Jarrus sacrificing himself to save the ghost and keep the fledgling rebellion going.
Also, you get to see a revenge battle between Obi-Wan and Darth Maul.
Yes.
Don't forget that one. So that
One of the coolest moments.
Yeah, of course they're older now. Things are different, but
The change,
oh gosh,
in the different before he attacked.
yeah, and the details are there, man. The
Dave
details are so
Filoni
there.
is a god.
He is brilliant because when it comes to these characters, he's very particular. So even now in Ahsoka, people are pointing out the smirks and the habits that Rosario's bringing to the character that are from the cartoons, like Ahsoka's famous smirk, the way she holds her lightsaber.
Yeah.
All these things are consistent in the continuity that started with the cartoon, and they're doing it. This is so good, y'all.
It's beautiful. The layers and depth that we get, and there was a in between Thrawn and Ezra. They snuck something in on us, and I want to talk about it for a minute.
Okay.
First scene of the show, right? We're inside the Purgle, inside Ahsoka's ship. We got Yang and Ahsoka talking, and Ahsoka, talks about the stories that he used to tell them when they were Padawans, and he says, "You want me to tell you a story?" And she goes, "No." And then so he probes her about Sabine, and she's like, "Never mind. Let me hear one of your stories." And Hu Yang starts to tell the stories that he used to tell these children. And it starts a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Are we hearing the stories of Hu Yang to the Jedi children years in the future? Is the entire Star Wars story nothing but a story being told to Padawans?
Well, that's meta as hell, man. Wow.
It blew my mind. I was like,
Yeah.
I watched it again last night. When he did it, I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah. No, it's even better. It's so fun to speculate like
Right?
this. It's so
Probably
much
never
fun.
get an answer. But
Yeah,
who cares?
but so much fun. So much fun. So
So I think we've fleshed this episode out enough. There was a lot of cool stuff in it. Tell us in the comments if there's any moments that we missed that you thought were mention worthy. But all in all, I'd give the episode like an 8.5 out of 10. Stellar episode. A good follow up to a 10.
yeah, totally. I'd probably give it more than 8.5. I'm just enjoying it so much.
I know he is. As he watches them, I'm getting live texted. I know he's loving it. So very cool. So totally worth it.
Yeah.
8.5. He says maybe even better. So totally worth it.
Sorry, we're live.
We got people coming up
It's
too.
good, buddy. It's good. We got a panel later together. Comes later. He's gone.
Live TV, right? So, like I mentioned, we are at Alabama Comic-Con, and this is a new kind of fledgling con. It's been going on 3 or 4 years, and we're really hoping, this being our home city, that this develops into quite a con. But I gotta say, we had some big celebrities here this year.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I sat in on a panel yesterday for the one and only Giancarlo Esposito, and he was an incredibly engaging gentleman.
Yeah.
It was like a pick-me-up to
Inspirational TED Talk.
Yes, that's exactly what it was.
Such a sweet man. I mean, he's got such a large career, and he's classically trained. He's a brilliant actor, but he took the time, and he felt like he was loving on everybody else.
He was calling out costumes in the audience, talking about them. And like I said, his message was, if you believe something and you dream something and you work for something, then that will manifest itself in your life. So like I said, it was very TED Talk, inspirational, but I dug the dude. If you know him as nothing but a villain on TV or movies, this was a very different side of the actor and the gentleman.
He's got a big career. That Kaleidoscope show recently on Netflix.
Yeah.
He's done the latest Grand Theft Auto, wasn't it? He was in a video game series recently.
He was in Far Cry 6.
Okay, sorry. Anyway.
But yeah, and his career goes way further back than I realized. He was in several Spike Lee films, including Do the Right Thing back in the day. So we're talking 80s. This man's been around for a long time, including he sang the Electric Company's theme song back in the day. I don't know if you knew that.
I did not.
I didn't either. He
So
sang it for us yesterday.
We're talking legacy actors here.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Glenn. I believe the video that I recorded of his panel is up on our YouTube.
Yes.
So the entire panel for Giancarlo Esposito is up on our CNA YouTube channel. So go check it out. It's really, really good. About 30 minutes long, but he was a really interesting panelist to listen to.
Yeah. Another legacy actor that my wife came through with me earlier, and
This is cool.
this was really cool. Lou Diamond Phillips is here, and he was kind of slow. The con had just opened, and he just walked out and was just talking to people. We walked up to his table. I talked to him about Young Guns, and
Mr. Young Guns
you know,
himself.
he was just super warm and kind and awesome. And you know, most of the time you got to pay a celebrity that is that big to spend that kind of time with you. But he was doing it. He was bored. But he's here actually hawking a book he wrote. I don't know if you know that. He's written a book. And I haven't dove into it, but it appears to be like maybe a sci-fi. I'm not sure. I want to look more into it. I'm going to go buy his books. He's going to sign it for you.
Never stop reinventing yourself.
No kidding, man.
He's got to be in his late 60s.
Mm-hmm. Super friendly, and he doesn't have to be here. He doesn't have to change. That dude has made his money. You know he's fine. He's consistently still starring in things, but yet he's decided to write a book, and now he's doing the concert. Super cool.
Awesome. We also have a pretty large presence of some of the icons of the wrestling industry.
That's right.
Yesterday, the longest line by far of anyone was Sting, the icon Sting from WWE Wrestling. His line was around the Con Center. Also had Kevin Nash. We had Diamond Dallas Page.
Yeah, they're still here. Sting left, but Mick Foley as well.
Mick Foley. Yeah.
Mankind. They're all here. So
Kevin Nash, who is gigantic in person.
Yeah. And it's if you're watching this live and you're thinking about coming down, the con is kind of slow today. The lines are not long for the celebrities at all.
At all. You can come over here and chit chat with Lou Diamond Phillips. There was no line for Giancarlo when I walked by just a minute ago. So definitely, if you're in Birmingham, come down here and check out this con, and then check us out at 3:30. We have a panel where we're going to go and play famous movie songs and let you guess what movie it came from for one of the prizes. I think you can see beside us here.
I don't know if you can or not. It's a bunch of pops.
There they are.
And other things. So we got prizes.
Yeah.
Comic books.
Yesterday, we did one of our most popular panels at the con, and if you've seen us before, you're probably aware of this. It's definitely the one that gets the most press, and that is Marvel versus DC. So you can imagine that elicits a lot of strong opinions. We talk about several categories, debate style, just break it down. It's really fun. It's a lot of enjoyment out of the crowd. So come check us out at the cons we go to. I know that we go to a lot of them every year. You can check our web pages for where we go, but short list, we go to Pensacon, TupeloCon. Sounds like we're going to one in New Orleans in January.
It's like a fan expo we may be getting into.
So come check us out for our panels, for our cosplay, and just to come say hey to us and hang out. We love getting to know our CNA fans. So please come check us out today if you're in Birmingham, and if not, please come see us in our future cons. And, before we go, we wanted to just sort of sample the con, some groups that sit around us a lot in the cons that we've gotten to know. And one of them is the Tragic City Rollers, which is a roller derby group. It's a roller derby group that we can bring him in after. Yeah. Roller derby group here in Birmingham, and they're about to have their last roller derby match of the season. So we were going to have the best name in the world, Drop Chick Murphy, is going to come talk to us a little bit about their last match and the Tragic City Rollers in general. So
it's literally rolling in here.
Yeah, on skates. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, Drop Chick Murphy.
I'm Drop Chick Murphy. Sorry, it's a mouthful. From Tragic City Roller Derby. We're having our last home bout of the season at Boutwell Auditorium, October 7th. You'll see our all-star.
Oh.
Everything okay?
Still good?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. Whoops.
Good?
Good? Okay.
Okay, we're good.
We'll see our all-star team go against Greenville Roller Derby, and then our home teams are going to go against each other in the second game.
Okay, so for our fans who don't know kind of what this sport is about, tell us a little bit about the sport.
They got your audio, but you can still.
Oh.
Get your audio still.
The camera went out.
Uh-oh.
The ghost knocked that shit
I saw it like.
Yeah, you back?
Okay.
Okay.
So but we're back now. We were talking about roller derby, and we have Drop Chick Murphy's here, and she's going to tell us a little bit about the sport, because if you've never seen it before, probably have some confusion exactly what it's about.
So back in the 70s and 80s, a lot of people thought roller derby was this wrestling. You can do punches, clotheslines. But since then, it's been a lot more regulated, more in like a football sense. You can't do high blocks. You can't just be jabbing people in the spine. So it's a little bit more regulated. But in the basic terms, it is like playing speed chess, but with bricks thrown at you. So it's we race around the track, and we basically hit each other a little bit, trying to get the point score, not to get by us.
So it's still pretty violent.
It's very violent. Body shots are completely welcome. Every roller derby player has at least 3 injuries on them at all times.
Okay, so I can tell you, you're going to see some CNA folks at your last match. We're definitely coming to see
Oh,
y'all.
absolutely.
Thank you so much for joining us. And if you're in Birmingham, what's the date?
October 7th.
October
Doors
7th.
open at 4. Game starts at 5.
Come check them out. It's going to be a blast. We'll see you there. And come support an awesome Birmingham institution with the Tragic City Rollers. Thanks so much.
Thank
for
you.
joining us.
Nice to meet you.
All right. I think we had another one of our friends of the con here. This is, I don't want to get this wrong, the Beard and the Beast, right?
Bear and the Beast.
The Bear and the Beast.
Bear and the beard.
Bear and the. You introduce yourself, sir.
I can do that.
These dudes are awesome. We were in the cosplay contest with them yesterday. We attended
You're
one.
Gambit, right?
I was Gambit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm working on a Gambit cosplay myself.
Well, then he's a good man. Listen to him.
Well, mostly because, Southern boy, got to stick together,
That's right.
And Rogue's always been my favorite because she's from my home state. So,
Mississippi?
Yep.
All right.
born and raised.
Well, introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about your group.
So I'm the Bear from the Bear and the Beard podcast. We started a podcast back in 2020, when everything shut down and we wanted communication with people.
We get it. That's what we did too.
We started on Instagram as live streaming, and then we moved on to recording those and put them out as episodes. And since then, in the 2 years that we've been doing it, we've gotten our own nonprofit label, Bearded Bear Entertainment, where we represent currently 3 podcast shows. We have 2 cosplayers, 2 Twitch streamers. We're always looking to build the community, and the whole thing is just spreading positivity. Like our show, the Bear the Beard, we only talk about things we like. We don't like to give negativity a platform. Even if there's certain things we didn't like about something, we still at least try to compliment sandwich it. So
I like
that's pretty much how we do. I was at y'all's panel, yesterday doing the whole debating thing, and it's like, I'm not a huge DC fan, but even though I'm cosplaying Deathstroke today.
Ladies and gentlemen, he may not be a good DC fan, but he's a good debater because he won his debate yesterday.
Yeah.
Arguing for DC.
Argue for DC. No, I really, I grew up on all of it. I grew up on Marvel. I grew up on Transformers, DC, everything. So I'm one of those, like, it's a good time to be a nerd right now.
You know what? If you watch our show every week, that is how we end our show every week.
Yep.
It is an amazing time to be a nerd, so go out there and do something nerd.
Yeah, go be a nerd. Like, I saw a post the other day that really kind of jived with our whole thing. This person said, Andor was good, Ahsoka was great, Obi-Wan was good, Boba Fett was great. All of it's good because I remember a time where we didn't know if we were getting any more Star Wars content.
There was
So
a time
go
when
enjoy
was
it for
3
what
movies.
it is. Yeah, go enjoy it for what it is. And I was like, that jives. Like, we could sit here and nitpick if we want to, and we do a lot of that on our show. Like, the CGI in this scene probably could have been better, but overall, great film or great show, stuff like that.
I Love and Thunder and Flash. Not great movies, but I'm glad they exist.
Okay, so we're in the complete, I guess, disagreement because we loved Love and Thunder, but here's why. We sat. Okay, hold on. We sat down and watched Love and Thunder for what it was, a Taika Waititi project, not a Thor film. We love Taika. We love everything Taika's done. We love Into the Shadows. We love Our Flag Means Death. And we loved Thor Ragnarok. So when we saw Love and Thunder coming out, even with the trailers, we were like, Thor fans are going to be mad, but Taika fans are going to love it, and we loved it.
That's the best summary of the movie I've ever
Yeah.
heard. If you're a
Thor
comic book
fans are gonna be
fan,
mad.
you're gonna hate it.
Yep.
If you're a Taika fan,
You loved it.
revel in it.
You loved it.
Yeah.
It was great. The soundtrack, amazing. Chris Hemsworth's role, very well done. Christian Bale coming over to the MCU, fantastic.
So you didn't feel Christian Bale was wasted?
No,
In
not
my
at all.
opinion, one of the best actors in Hollywood.
Not at all. Because that story needed to be told. I'm sad that it only spanned one movie, but
And he only killed 2 gods.
well, yeah, yeah. But see, I'm also not a fan of Gore as a character because in the comics, the plot device of all it took was Gore saying he was unworthy makes him not be able to pick up his hammer. It's like that's an opinion
Yeah.
of yourself. That the hammer shouldn't work that way. Like just because you don't think you're worthy, the hammer should know whether you're worthy or not. And then they got into the Lord of the Hammers bit and all that in the comic books. And I'm just like, okay, I love Thor. I love the fact that we're getting comics. Not my favorite storyline so far. So Gore, a great character. I didn't like what he's represented, I guess, for Thor.
Okay.
So for that, not wasted.
So
I thought
you
he did a good job.
defended Love and Thunder. Can you defend the Flash movie?
I haven't seen the Flash movie yet enough to be able to defend it, but I will say Keaton is my number one. Like to me, he represents both Bruce Wayne and Batman the best, in my opinion. I have a favorite Batman. I have a favorite Bruce Wayne, but he is the favorite both.
I was 8 years old when that movie came out, and it is why I'm a nerd.
Yeah,
So Michael
right.
Keaton is Batman.
Yeah, Michael Keaton's Batman. The fact that in the interview when he was Vulture for Spider-Man: Homecoming, and Tom Holland literally said he would walk around in the Vulture costume and literally go, "I'm Batman." It's like Keaton knows he's Batman, and even like I saw an interview where Danny DeVito was like, "This is Batman. I don't need to see the other one. This is my favorite Batman because to me, he's Batman."
I think even the other Batman actors know he's Batman.
Well, because without him, they don't have a thing.
Right.
I mean, Adam West, but he didn't do a blockbuster film. I guess is the best way to say it. But see, like even Keaton's Batman, that's not my favorite Batman movie. Pattinson's Batman movie is my favorite movie because it's the first time he gets to be a detective.
This dude is full of hot takes today.
We did a whole episode on why Pattinson's like he's not the best Batman, but the movie itself
Perhaps
was
the worst Bruce Wayne.
Perhaps. I
He was
guess yeah.
Bruce Wayne.
He was
we've ever
Bruce
seen.
Wayne. He was emo Bruce Wayne. Emo Bruce Wayne.
Well, guys, we could continue this for the rest of the day. I think. This is fun.
Look. We have our Eternals episode was in 2 parts, and both together is like 5 hours. So you can't have me in this chair much longer, or I'll stay here the rest of the
What
day.
we need to consider is like having a guest appearance on each other's shows
Yes.
sometime.
We always down to collab. We tell even our fans, like, look, this is like a radio show thing. If you're a fan about something that we haven't done an episode on yet, but that we like from hearing us talk, reach out to us. We'll have you on the show. Like, because we do ours online, because my other co-host lives in Nebraska, so we have to.
Yeah.
Like, it's not an in-person thing. We can't do stuff like this because he's so fun. And I mean, we're trying to get him down here, but we'll see. But yeah, so we would love that. I was telling him earlier, like, we don't debate on our show. Like, we're pretty much fans of what we talked about. So I think it'd be fun to have y'all on. We have other friends that come on. They're like, oh, we don't share that opinion, and here's why. And that's great. But to have an actual structured debate, I think
We will give you a dissenting opinion.
yeah, I love it because at the end of the day, you know, what we say kind of creates the toxicity is people trying to express their opinion as fact, and that's where we're like, that's the problem.
Yeah.
Like,
That's a
you can have the
cultural problem,
opinion.
right?
I can be your friend and not agree with you on the fact that Captain America is the greatest superhero ever.
Facts. You
It's
heard
a
that.
fact. it's a fact in my opinion. No, that's the thing.
It's
It
just
doesn't
a
have
fact.
to be which one. It's a mantle, and that's what I like about it. So But
Well,
yeah.
before you go, you want to kind of plug your Instagram? Facebook,
Yeah,
and all
so you can find us at Beard to Bear Entertainment on Instagram, also Bear and Beard Podcast on Instagram. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube with video episodes from our season 2 up to current. That's also where you can find Squatch Talk with Jay and the Hesitation Station. And we're actually adding 2 new shows really soon.
that? Awesome. You have any cons coming up you're going to be at?
No, this is actually our last one for this year. Unless something comes up that we get invited to, this was our last planned one.
Y'all go to
So-
y'all go to Pensacon?
We did this year. I was a little out of my element because it was very, very packed.
It is a big
But we actually got to speak to David King at Pensacon. It was a great experience. So it was very fun. We may go back.
Well, we go there every year. That's our kind of throwdown one.
Okay.
So please check us out
Oh, for sure.
and check them out. And I can't wait to do some collabs.
Oh yeah, for sure, man.
Thank you so
Appreciate
much.
it. Thank you for your time. Oh, my gun might knock over
Uh-oh.
the chair. We'll see.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. We say it every week, and there's no better place to say it than here. It is a great time to be a nerd and do something nerdy. So get out there, get off your chair, do something nerdy. And if you're in Birmingham, come down and see us. Excelsior.
Have a good week. Stay safe. We out. We still.